right? So now let us see the execution of this again, once again. So this is the output. Okay, this is the output. Now what we will do is we will display these fields in tabular format. Okay, so we'll display these fields in tabular format. Okay, for that what we need to do, so I'll go back to my database. So let me check it. Okay, so use, select the database, right? Use Rajan for DB1 and select star from Raju for DB1 for DB1. Okay. Okay, so these are the columns: one ID, CNAME, mobile number, and DOB. Okay, of course this DOB I have added extra doing something, right? So now this is our table. So here we are having 4 columns, right? 4 columns and 5 records are there. 4 columns, 5 rows, 5 records are there. Okay, so if we execute there, we are getting in the form of, like if we execute from Python, we are getting in this form. Why? Because in my Python program I have written the program to display like this, right? Now if you want to display in the tabular format, what you supposed to do is, so you have to generally you have to import the table object. Okay, so Python supports lot of tabular objects are there. For that, what you need to do, again you have to download the corresponding package into your computer, then you can make use of that particular thing, right? So the software which we need to download here is, right, the package which we need to download for this table object is pip install. So we know already the command is pip install and mention the package name. Okay, so it is p table, package name is p table. So it is downloading. Okay, it is downloaded successfully. Now if you want to check whether it is downloaded successfully or not, what you supposed to do, so go to shell, Python shell, and import pretty table. Okay, pretty table. So if you don't get any error, so that indicates the software is downloaded successfully, right? Right, fine. Now we'll go back to our program and we will import in our program, right? Import PyMySQL, then import, okay, from pretty table, import. So from the pretty table package, import a module called, import a class called pretty table. Okay, so now what we'll do, so we want to display in the form of tabular form, right? So first create the object. So first create the object obj equal to pretty table. Okay, so then we can add. So instead of these 2 lines, what we will do is, so here we are getting the records and we are fetching all the records, and all the records are in the variable called result. So from there we will take one by one, and we will add that record to the table, right? So here first obj dot field underscore names, and you give the field names. Okay, field names. So first one is id. Okay, second one is name, and third one is mobile number, and fourth one is DOB. Okay, so the names are like this. Okay, Rakesh want to see the command prompt. Okay, see Rakesh here, command prompt. This is the command prompt. So here we have install pip install ptable, right? Right. So we'll come back to our program and we'll write here. So if you want, I'll explain the program once again. No need to worry about that. So first, let me write the code for this, right? So then obj dot add row. So here add row, and we have to convert it into the list of result. Okay, why I'm writing this, I'll explain you. So first let us test whether it will work or not. Okay, fine. Problem in connecting row has incorrect number of values. So actually row has incorrect number of values. So some problem in connecting database. Okay, let us go back to the program. Empty table, which field underscore names equal to ID. Okay, four names are there. So this is the list. Sorry, not result, it is record. Okay, fine. So this record. Then finally, what we'll do is we'll print obj, entire table will print it. Okay. So now hope you can able to see the records in the tabular format, right? So now I'll explain the program. Yeah, you can fetch one by one also, madam. You can fetch one by one, but for that what you have to do is fetch one, add to table, again fetch one, like that. If 100 records are there, 100 times you have to execute the fetch one. If you execute fetch all statement, fetch all function, it will fetch all the records, even this 100 or 1000 also. Okay. So if you are having only one record, and or if you are specific to only first particular record, then you can fetch one. You can use fetch one. Right? If you are running the query for only for one record, then you can use fetch one in that scenario. But if you want to fetch all the records, and if your table is having 100 records, so then if you use fetch one, you have to execute fetch one by 100 times. Or you can use other remaining fetch many or fetch all. Right? So if you use fetch all, we can fetch all the records at a stretch. Okay, so now let me explain the program. Okay, So of course this program yesterday only we did, right? Yesterday only we did, but today we have added one extra thing here, because yesterday we have displayed in the form of like different lines, name ID in one line, name in another line, right? Name in another line like this. So yesterday we have displayed like this, right? So since Trupti madam is asked, she want to display the information in the form of tabular form, right? So tabular form, yes, we can display in the tabular form also, but for that you need to default, by default in the Python we don't have the any table object. Okay, so whatever the format you want, you just add the table object to your existing Python modules, right? So in that, one of the commonly used and a simple one is pretty table. So that module, that package you have to download by using the pip. So already we know how to download the packages, right? So for downloading the package, what we supposed to do, we have to give a command called pip install p table. Okay, p table. Okay, pretty table, right? Since already it is installed here, it will show it is up to date, right? Requirement is already satisfied. Okay, so now once it is installed, what you have to do, you have to go to your program and import this particular table object in your program. Okay, so the table object name is pretty table. Okay, now let us go back to program. So here, this is the pretty table module. So in this module, we will have the class called pretty table. Okay, so now I don't want all the classes of this pretty table, right? So we want to display in tabular form only. So I'm from a module called pretty table, I'm importing a class pretty table. Okay, so for this class, I'm creating the object. So in this class, you will have two fields. One is like if you want to set the headings, right? In the table, you need to set the headings now. So you have to call field underscore names operator, right? So now field underscore obj dot field underscore names, and you give the list of. Remember, this pretty table class will take all the elements in the form of list. That's the reason we are using the square bracket here. Okay, so always you have to mention the values in the form of list. So here 4 columns ID, name, mobile number, and DOB. So I have given in the form of list to the field names. Now in the pretty table class, one object is created. That means okay, so I'll explain here. So for pretty table class will display the class, right? For that, one class is created. What is the class name? What is the object? OBJ. In that OBJ, we are setting column of the headings. That means column headings. One is ID, then name, okay, mobile number, and DOB. How you can set these? By using that object and field underscore names. You can do this particular task. Okay. Then now I want to insert the records. For records insertion, by use the object name. What is the object name? OBJ, and add underscore row, and you give the records. The record length should be 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, because ID should be there, name should be there, mobile number, DOB should be there. Okay, so that already we are getting it from MySQL database by using the Python program. right? So, but only thing is here the condition is whether you are giving the records or you are giving the field headings, right? Field names, right? So those values, those elements must be given in the form of list. Must be given in the form of list. That is only the condition, right? Yes, import star means all the classes will be imported. So Happy Singh is asking from p table import star, right? Or you can just simply write import pretty table. That's all. Okay, no need to worry about that. Right now, for this, for doing this, what we are doing now. So yesterday we have seen all that. Already we are fetching the records from our MySQL database. So in our MySQL database, we are having a table called Raju underscore DB1 underscore DB1. In that ID, name, mobile number, DOB, it is there, right? So now the same thing, we are fetching it from our Python program. So we have created the connection, localhost Raju Kannam, this is the password, and the Raju underscore DB1 underscore DB1 table is there in Raju underscore DB1 database. So I have created the cursor object, then select star from Raju underscore DB1 underscore DB1. This will fetch all the records, and those records will be stored in a cursor. So from the cursor, we are fetching all the records into a variable called result. So now in the result variable, it contains 5 tuples. Remember, from MySQL, whatever the records you are getting, those records will be in the form of tuple. Okay. So if you want to see, I'll directly print result here. Okay. Yesterday, of course, yesterday we have seen result. Okay. So now I'll execute that. See here. It is normal bracket means that indicates it is a tuple now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tuples you are getting, right? So but remember what I told here. What I told here, for the p table object, the value should be given in the form of list. So what I have to do? I have to convert the tuple into list. So that is what I'm doing. Now here, for every record in the result, the first record will be added to obj.addRow. The first record will be added to our pretty table. Okay, our table. But this record is tuple that I'm converting into the list. I'm typecasting. So all these things we have discussed. Why I have discussed all these things slowly means for this purpose only. Because when you are started implementing applications, that time you should not confuse that how okay it is written in tuple but it is not accepting tuple. What I have to do? So we should not get all those confusions. That's the reason I have covered all the basics. Means I took a lot of time for that, right? So now here we know already how to convert the tuple into the list by using the list keyword. You can convert it to the list. That list we are adding into the table. Okay, then automatically it will be incremented. Second record will be fetched. Second record will also be converted into list, and second record is also added to table. So like that it will repeat for 5 records. Since 5 records are there, 5 records it will be repeated. All the 5 records will be converted to the list and it will be added to the table, right? Then finally we are printing the table, our pretty table. Okay, so what is the name of our pretty table? Object of the pretty table is obj. So simply if you give print obj, it will be printed. Okay, so now if you have any doubts you can ask me, right? So in this way you can print today my system starts work properly, shows the starting process. What should I do? Add how row is variable. No. That is add row is not a variable. I'm not taking that add row as a variable. Like here, add row is. Sorry, I have not shared the screen. So this is the output screen. Okay. So now here in the program, this add row is not a, this one, add row is not a variable. It is a property of this particular class. It is a property of this particular class. So what it will do is, like it is a function. Add row is a function. Okay, this is field name is property, and this is a function. What it will do is, whatever the list you are giving, that list will be added as a record, as a row in the table. In which table? Whatever the table you are using, that is the table obj. List function, yes, list keyword we have used for converting tuple into list. Tuple into list. So my underscore cr dot fetch all. That means, so once this query is executed, and Deepti is asking that what this particular statement will do. So once this query is executed in the MySQL server, the result will be in cursor. Okay, the result will be in cursor. From the cursor, we have to fetch the records now. From the cursor, we have to fetch the records now. So for fetching the records from the cursor, we have to use, you mention the cursor name. My cursor name is my underscore cr dot fetch all. Fetch all means whatever the records stored in the cursor, all the records you take it out and store in the variable called result. Variable called result. Okay, so with this statements, whatever the records stored due to the execution of the previous query, that is select star from Raju underscore db1 underscore tb1, right? Those records, all the records will be fetched from the cursor, and it is getting stored in the result. Once it is stored in the result variable, you can use that all the records in your program however you want. No. For fetching the records, we should have the cursor. Without cursor object, we cannot, because for connecting MySQL, to work with MySQL from your Python, you should have the connection object, and you should have the cursor object. Without cursor object, we cannot execute query in MySQL. So that is compulsory. For working with MySQL from your Python, you should have the connection object as well as cursor object. First, you should create the connection, right? You should create the connection by giving the name of the server. That means URL of the server, name of the user, then password, then database name. Once it is created, you have to create the cursor for the connection. Then, if the cursor is created, then you are ready to, your Python program is ready to execute any query, right? So by using the cursor object, you can execute by using the execute function in the cursor class. You can execute any query. You mention the query that you want to execute. Once the query is executed, result you will get. Result where it will show? It will show in the cursor only. From the cursor, you have to get all the result into your program, your Python program. To bring the result from cursor to your program, you have to use fetch all function, or you can use fetch one function. Fetch all will fetch all the records, whatever the records which are stored in the cursor. Fetch one will fetch only one record, first record, right? And fetch many will fetch only the specified number of records, right? So we want all the records. That's the reason I'm using the fetch all. Okay, so that fetch all the records I'm getting to the result variable, and from that, of course, this is normal for loop only. We have discussed a lot of times. So for every, because here five records are there now, so for every record it will repeat, right? So what we are doing, every record we are adding to the table object, right? Once all the records are added, I'm going to print the table. Okay. Then once it is over, of course, this entire thing we are putting in the try block. Why? Because if connection is created, okay. So say, for example, if I have given table name wrong, table name is wrong, right? Then what happens? It will try to fetch records from Raju underscore db1 underscore tb, right? But in my database, I don't have in my database, I don't have a table called Raju underscore DB1 underscore TB. I'm having the table called Raju underscore DB1 underscore TB1, right? So now if I try to execute, if you mention that table name as wrong, if you try to execute this, so it will throw error. When it throws error, what happened? So immediately the try block will handle that particular error problem in connecting database. What is the problem? So we are printing the error message also. Table Raju underscore DB1 database. So Raju underscore DB1 TB does not exist. This table is not exist in this particular database. Okay. Right. To handle these unexpected errors, we are writing in the try catch flag. Otherwise, now we will get that red color big message. We will get it and will error will table is not available. Right now, that is common thing, na? That is common thing, na? So now what I will do is TB1. I'll make it correct. So now instead of OBJ, I'm giving OBJ1. Let us see what will happen. Right, that is normally in there we have seen in object-oriented programming. You have created the object OBJ, right? OBJ, it is like a normal simple variable. For example, you have created the x value, but you are trying to print y, right? So y does not exist, no? So OBJ1 is not defined, and the Python doesn't understand what is OBJ1. Sorry, not shared string. So now OBJ1 is not defined. So Python won't understand what is this OBJ1. So OBJ is there in the program, but he's trying to print OBJ1. So OBJ1 is not defined. So this is normally name error, right? Name error. Okay, any doubts from this? So this is yesterday's program only. Just we have modified the yesterday's program to make it as a table, right? To display the fetch records in the form of tables. Right? Any doubts? Right. Now today what we will do is, so already existing database. Yesterday we did that. Already the existing table we are fetching the records, right? Now I want to create my own database, right? I want to create my own table. I want to create my own records in that particular table. Okay, how to do that? Right? So that means I will create my database from Python program. Right? Once the database is created, I will create the table in that particular database. Right? Once the table is created, I will insert the records in that particular table. Okay. So that is my job now, right? So now right. So here, see here. Now, first of all, how to create the database? What is the query we need to run to create the database? What query we need to run? Right? Now here Raju underscore DB1 is there, right? So now I want to create, here these are the databases, right? Now I want to create what is the query? Yes, create database and your database name, right? Create database. Now Raju underscore DB2. Okay, or what we will do is we'll create student DB underscore DB, student underscore DB. Okay, we'll create the database. Create spelling is wrong. Create a database student underscore DB. Okay. So then we'll work on this particular database only. Then we'll create a student information, student marks, students attendance. We'll create different tables. Okay. Right. Now here, first this is the database I want to create. Right. So now it is created. You can see here. If you refresh here, so it is created. Student underscore DB. Okay. Right. Now I'll delete this. Okay. What I will do is now I'll come back to my program. I'll come back to my program. So this is common import PyMySQL, because to connect with MySQL, we need to have this particular module, right? So now to connect with the MySQL, what you should do? First you have to create the connection, then cursor. This is common. Wherever you want to work with the MySQL, so there first you have to create the connection, then create the cursor. So how we can create the cursor? PyMySQL dot connect function. So there you have to mention host name, then user, password, right? So but here I don't want to give host name first. I want to give your username first. So for that already we have studied this in functions, right? Functions. That means unordered arguments, right? So that means it is not compulsory to give the arguments in the same order. If you want to give the arguments in different order, you can give. But the condition is, so when you are giving the argument value, you should use the name of the argument also, right? Otherwise, it will assume the default order. What is the default order here? First will come host, then user, then password, then database. Okay. So now I don't want to give in normal order how we have given in the previous program. So in the previous program, if you see, here we have given first host name, then username, then password, then database name. Okay. Now I don't want to give in the same order, right? So I want to give in my own order, right? Different order, right? So for that also you can give, but only thing is that what value you are giving, that argument name you have to mention. Of course, these things we have studied in functions itself, right? Now I'm giving the username. What is the username? Raju underscore. No. Okay. So then password is Raju123, and host is localhost. And here you no need to give the database. Why no need to give the database? Because we are going to write this program for creating one database. For creating one database, why you require one database? Not required. So no need to give the database. And I already told that fourth argument for the connect method, the fourth argument is optional. If you want, you can give. Otherwise, you can leave that fourth argument. Right? But first three arguments must be given. Right? Those are mandatory arguments. Yesterday itself we have discussed. Right? Now the connection is created. What is the connection name? My underscore CONN, right? My underscore connection, right? My underscore CONN. My connection name is my underscore CONN. Now I have connected with MySQL server. I have connected from my Python. I have connected with MySQL server with Raju underscore Kannam user and password, right? Which is running in the local machine, right? Okay, connected. But if you want to do any work on MySQL, you need to have the cursor object. Okay, so for that cursor object, you are going to create this connect function will create only connection with the MySQL. To do work on the MySQL, to execute your queries on MySQL, you need to have the cursor. That's the reason connect and cursor. These two are important classes from PyMySQL module. Okay, now here I'm creating. Once the connection is created, for the connection I'm creating that my underscore connection dot cursor. So right, so I've created the connection. Right now here, so yesterday we have discussed now. So I'll explain here. So here, so this is my Python program, and here this is my MySQL. Now here from my Python program, I have created the connection. have created the connection by using the method called connect. So this method is telling for which user you want to create the connection and fit his password also, right? So it is mentioning that, so user is Raju underscore Kannam and his password is so and so. Okay, Raju 123. Okay, then what it will do? Okay, now the MySQL will think that, okay, he want to create the connection. So username, this user and password really exist in my database or not, it will check. If it is exists, it will create connection. Now the connection will be created. The connection will be named as my underscore connection. Now the connection is, this connection name is my underscore connection. How the Python program will identify the name of this particular connection is my underscore connection. Once the connection is created, we have to create the cursor. So your cursor is my underscore cursor. Why? What is the use of this cursor? So this cursor will create the platform to execute your queries. So now, so with the help of this my underscore cursor, so it will take your query and gets executed here. Once it is executed, the result will be sent back to the cursor. Okay, right? Once it is executed, all the records will be fetched back to the cursor. Now all the records in the cursor that you have to make use of. Right? So now here you have to create the connection as well as cursor. That is what we are doing. So in every program we supposed to do this, right? So in every program we supposed to do this. Okay. So now I'm creating the cursor. My cursor name is my underscore cur, right? So my underscore connection dot cursor. The cursor function is used to create the cursor, right? Now here the cursor is created. Now it is ready to execute your query. What is your query? I want to create my own database, right? So I want to create my database, create database. What is the query? Already we have executed here now. Already we have executed and seen here. Where is that? Okay. So already we have executed and seen that. Create database Raj underscore student underscore DB, right? Student DB created. So the same query, same way we have to give the query here. The same query is supposed to give in your program. So create database student underscore DB. Okay, student underscore DB. Student underscore DB I want to create, right? Now I'm executing the, right? Of course, I'm going to execute this particular query. To execute that query, what I have to do? My underscore cursor dot, we have the execute function. So then you mention the my query. Of course, directly you can mention the query here directly, or you can store your query in one variable. That variable name you can mention here. Okay, that variable name you can mention here. The my cursor dot execute will take your query. Either directly you can write your query here, or you can write your query in one variable and variable name you can mention here. Okay, right? So now if you execute this, so then I'm printing the message that your database created successfully. Or if you get any error here, so because when you try to create the database now, so we may get runtime error, we don't know. Okay, so we may get runtime error. That's the reason I'm putting in try black. Always when you are working with the database or files, better to put your code in try and except black, because so those may generate the runtime errors, right? So that's the reason always we are putting in try and except black. If any error arises here, then we'll say that sorry, your database is not created, since the reason is the error message we are printing E. Okay. So here, now here, whether we have the finally black. What is the use of finally black? Here, try and except blacks. Out of these two blacks, any of the, if the database is created, this black will be executed. If the database is not created, this black will be executed. Okay, so that means any of the black will be executed out of try and except. But okay, if the database is created, then who will close the connection? Once your work is over, you have to close. That is your responsibility to close the connection with MySQL, na? Right? So that's the reason whether your database is created or not created. You have to obviously you have to close the connection. You have to close the connection. We have created the connection here, na? We have created the connection here, na? Whatever the query you are giving, that is going to execute here. Whether that query successfully executed or not successfully executed, once your work is over, this connection should be closed. This connection should be closed, right? Once your work is over, this connection should be closed, right? So who will close that, right? That's the reason in finally black we are writing my underscore conn dot close. My connection close. The database connection is closed. Okay. Yes, all programs will run on Python. No need to worry. Sir, in SQL, student is already created. If we give again call query Python, when it is will override. That is what we are going to see now. So that is what I want to show, right? I am about to ask the question, right? What will be the output of this program? But by that time, Trupti madam has given the answer. Okay. Finally, we will execute after try accept. Okay. Right. So now, can you expect the answer result from this? So the result is, sorry, your database is not created, because can't create database student underscore DB, already database exists. Okay. So the database connection is closed. That means I told you na, whatever we have written in finally black, that will be executed always, whether you have created your query is successful or not successful. Okay. So why the problem is already student DB is there in database. That's the reason it won't create. So in this scenario, it will handle the runtime error. Now what I will do, I'll go back to my database. Here I will delete my drop schema. Okay, I'll delete my database. Right now there is no database called student underscore DB. Now if I execute the program, what will be the answer? Database will be created successfully. Your database created successfully. Database connection is closed. Okay. See here. Previously database is not created successfully, but connection is closed. And now database is created successfully. Closed. That means when your work is finished, the finally will take care to close the connection. The finally black will take care. It will close the connection. Okay. So remember that always you should close the connection. You should release the resources, because that resources will be allocated to some other users now. Right? Hope it is clear. Any doubts? So now you can see here. Now we'll go back to our database. We'll go back to database and we'll see whether really that my underscore that student underscore. So here student just refresh the schema and see student underscore DB is created. Okay. And again I will go back to my program. Now this time I will create another database, student underscore DB1. Okay. Once more you execute it. So database is created successfully. Okay. Just go back to your database and check there whether student underscore DB1 is created or not. So just refresh the schema. See, student underscore DB1 is created. Right? So then how many times you execute this particular program, those many times it will be created. So now this time I will give different name. Okay. Okay. So Deepti underscore Pandey, right? So we'll execute again. So it is database is created. So they will check it whether Deepti underscore Pandey is created or not. Just refresh the schema. Deepti underscore Pandey database is created. Right? How many times you will execute this particular program, those many times it will be created. Right? Now, of course, I don't want all these databases. Right? So I'll keep only student underscore DB and I'll remove other databases. Right? Okay. Right. Now database is created. In this, now next what I have to do? I want to select the student DB because I want to create one table in student underscore DB. Okay, that table name is student underscore information. So to create table in student underscore DB, what you supposed to do? You have to select the database. How you can select the database? By using the keyword called use and give the database name student underscore DB. Okay, DB. Now if you execute this, so this will be selected. Here you can create. Now here I want to create a table. Create table. Table name. What is the table name? Student underscore information. Okay. So what are the variables? First one is okay. First number is ID. ID is I'll give integer. It should not be null, not null. Right. Then name of the student. His name, student name. Okay. So it is char 30 characters. Okay. It is also not. It should not be null. Okay. Then after that, okay, his name. Then email ID. Email. It is also character of 20 characters. Okay. It is also should not be null. Okay. Then mobile is also character 10 digits. So it is not null. Okay. Then address. Okay. Address is also character. So address 100 characters I will give. It is also not null. All the fields are compulsory. Okay. Now so create table. Okay, create table, student information, ID, integer, so and so, all the things. So then you give the semicolon. If you execute, so it is created. Now you can see the description of table student underscore information. Okay. If you execute this, see here. So fields are ID, his name, student name, email ID, mobile address. Okay. Right. So all the values are should not be null. All the values are compulsory. Okay. So the same thing we have to do it from our Python program. What we did here, first we have selected the database. Already we have created the database now. Select the database student underscore DB, then run this particular query. Okay. So what you have to do? Same program. What is that? Here two queries we need to run. Or same program. Here database. What you have to do? Database equal to student underscore DB. Then here you have to write create table, whatever the query we have written there, that you have to write here, right? And execute it. That's all. Here no need to fetch the records. Here no need to fetch the records, of course, right? So then if you want to see the structure of the table, okay, you can execute DESC table name student underscore information semicolon. So that will be the structure will be fetched. That structure you take into cursor, and from cursor you take into your Python program. You can display in the form of tabular form by using the table object. Okay. So this is your homework, right? So this program I'm not going to demonstrate. This is your homework. This you have to do. You have to create the table and display the structure of the table from your Python program. Okay, and remember here, before creating the student information, already I have created the student information in my database, right? Student information already created. If you give the table name same name, student information, it will throw error because already this table exists in the database. So we cannot create the table with the same name, right? So then what you have to do, you delete this. If you want to create with the same name, you delete this table in your database and run the Python program. Or there you give different name, student underscore information 1. Okay. You have to create, and after creating, you execute this, right? So how to execute two queries? Right? Here you can write query 1 as your create table. Okay. Create table. Okay. Then query 2 is my underscore query 2 equal to, what is query 2? DESC table name, right? Table name, right? So first you execute this query, then execute query 1. Then after that, after executing the query 1, print your table is created successfully. Then after that you execute my underscore cursor, right? Execute to write query 2. Now execute the query 2, right? Once the query 2 is executed, then result equal to my underscore curs dot execute fetch all. Okay. Then print the result by using the for loop. You can print the table structure either line by line, or if you want in tabular format, you can by using the p table, you can print that PT table. Okay, so that is your homework, right? Hope it is clear to everyone. Right? Any doubts? No. Cursor is only one, but 2 times we are going to execute the query, because that execute function will execute only one query at a time, right? Execute query, this execute function is there now. For every cursor there is a function called execute. This will execute only one query, specified query. So first we need to create the table. So you give the create table query and execute it. So then once the table is created, then you can fetch the table structure by using the second query, that is DESC table name. Hope it is clear to everyone. So as Jyoti madam told yesterday, we will work continuously on this only, because this database, the student information, we will create student information, student attendance table, student information table where student name, mobile number, email ID, address will be there, and another table also we will create in our coming sessions. So we will create for attendance and we will create for marks also. Okay, so we'll work on this. So we will finish one project. Like project means we can enter the student details, and if you want to fetch so and so students, you can fetch it like that. We can do that. So we'll develop one project type, student database type, right? So first let us start with only the student information, that student attendance, student marks, library, everything we'll add afterwards. But let us start working on that. All those things you please add. Okay, so now I'll demonstrate. I'll take the student information, I will add the records, I'll fetch the records with different criteria. Okay, and your job is to extend this to other thing, right? So once, of course, now we are going to do from console, right? Of course, afterwards we will develop user interface, GUI interface also. First, let us start from the beginning, right? So now we'll create the database, we'll insert the records, we'll fetch the records according to the different criteria. Okay. Any doubts? And remember here, you please add one more column also, state. State you please add. Address and which state he belongs to. Okay. We have added 4 now. ID, email ID, mobile, address, and you add one more column also, state. So that we'll add all the students based on the state criteria. We'll fetch the things and we'll change the values. All those things will, but for filtration. I'm telling you. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Again, tomorrow we'll meet at 4 o'clock. Right. So I hope tomorrow you will finish this exercise today. What I have given, that you have to create the table and display the structure of the table by using Python program. You can add, Rakesh, you can add as many rows you want. Because yesterday in the first class, we have seen now that world database city table is having 1000 rows. You can add any number of rows. But the thing is, that will, based on the number of records you are adding, that licensing will be come into picture. Right, for general use student version, generally we will add 1000 or 2000. But in real time case, the records will be in lakhs. For those scenario, you have to purchase the license. Okay, thank you everyone. Tomorrow we'll meet.